Child brides in Southwest Florida, young girls forced by their own families to marry grown men.
A girl at age 14 getting married, that's common.
Now the push to stop the practice.
In America, it is illegal to have relations with a girl less than 16 years old. Seriously.
The NBC2 investigators exposed the problem 2 months ago. A practice common in Southwest Florida communities. In some communities, young girls staying silent when forced into an adult world.
Now there's a push to let everyone in those communities know it is not okay or legal. NBC2 investigator Rachel Polanski is here with this new development.
Kelly, Peter, in court about 1 month ago, 31-year-old Antonio Juarez confessed to having sex with a Lee County girl. She was just 13. As part of his plea deal, he was sentenced to sex offender probation and no contact with the victim. But there was also a special condition. He would be required to record a radio PSA warning other Guatemalan men not to marry young girls.
Paisano, si piensas que puedes conseguir.
That's the voice of Antonio Juarez,
Aquí en la Florida.
speaking in his native tongue.
Aquí es ilegal.
The radio PSA was recorded in Maya Canjobal, Spanish, and English.
Men, if you think that you can arrange to marry a young girl here in Florida, be careful.
It will be
In
airing on
America,
local
it is
radio
illegal to
stations.
Even when her parents agree, they and you could end up in jail.
Why do you think it's so important that it gets out there in 3 different languages?
Nobody makes public service announcements in Maya Canjobal. So that is really going to call attention to thousands of people around here.
Genelle Grant is the founder of the Grace Project, which teaches reproductive health to Latina and farm worker women in Southwest Florida.
Arranged marriages and child brides, that is the reality.
An astonishing Lee County custody case involving Antonio Juarez brought the issue out in the open a few months ago.
When I was 13, my parents made me marry a 25-year-old man.
A young girl was forced to marry and live with Juarez in her parents' home while she went to middle school.
I do believe there are more cases like this in Lee County.
The criminal case wrapped up last month, but it shed light on an important cultural divide. In Guatemala, 30% of girls are married before the age of 18, and Antonio Juarez came to the U.S. from Guatemala. His attorney claims he did not know he was breaking the law.
He was completely unaware. It's not an excuse, but it's the truth.
Hey girl, if an older man comes looking to marry you, be careful.
There's also a version for girls, letting them know they don't have to marry.
If you're less than 16 years old, the man could end up in jail because the marriage is illegal and it is rape.
A PSA and a warning.
This is very, very powerful.
That what may be acceptable in other countries is not in America.
It's good that he's meant to do this, because that is what will reach his peers.
Antonio Juarez is also an undocumented immigrant with a 4th grade education. It is likely that he will be deported. As for the young girl, she tells me that she just wants to move on with her life and with her daughter. For the NBC2 Investigators, I'm Rachel Polanski.